JP, year 2 in this offensive system. You've been through 2 springs now as well, and a summer with Hoover throwing again. Just talk to me about the potential of this offense as you head into fall camp.
Yeah, we got a lot of potential. We have playmakers all over the field. Especially I feel like at receiver, we have a lot of experience returning. Me, Besh, Savion, Major, just a lot of guys with experience that play ball. And then we could talk about running backs. Trey obviously brings a lot of veteran status to that running back room, and Cam Cook is going to be a guy that's going to shock a lot of people this year. He's competed his tail off all summer, and he's somebody that I would definitely be looking out for. And obviously Hoover, he's had a great great summer, and he's feeling as good as ever. He said he, more than anything, feels more quick on his feet, and so hopefully see him run around a little bit and stuff and test that theory out. But I think we definitely, like I said, have a lot of potential and have the opportunity to be really explosive.
So what did you guys learn about Josh as a quarterback in the time he was on the field last year?
I think he has guts, and the guys, I don't know, we love him. I mean, we listen to him, like when he's talking, when he speaks up, it's out of emotion, it's out of passion. He's a guy that everybody can rally to, and so I think that's really important to have as a quarterback.
You guys were pretty banged up in the spring, but now I'm assuming most of the receivers will be ready for camp. I guess how excited are you now to go up against this new defense with all of you guys available?
100%. I'm super stoked about our defense. I love how much pressure they put on the quarterback, and how talented that whole defense is, especially secondary linebackers. But yeah, like you said, we're a little banged up, and now we're full go, ready to go. So I couldn't be more stoked for fall camp, and iron sharpens iron. So every single day we're going to compete and get better every day. So I'm pumped.
Who's the guy that gives you the most fits when he covers you?
Abe Kamara, I would say he's real physical, but he's also fast as hell. So Abe is a really good player. Bud Clark, obviously, he's got a lot of experience. He's a guy who is long and is obviously really fast, and just overall probably one of the best athletes on the field at all times. So those guys, along with a lot of others, give me some fits, but yeah, I'd have to narrow it down to probably Abe and Bud.
Do you like playing Stanford out of the block? Does that kind of create a sense of urgency for fall camp?
I love it. It'll be my first time playing on the road for week 1, and so I was really talking. So I live with Chase Curtis and Carson Bruno, and before I came up here, we were talking about how excited we were to go play Stanford week 1 and how fun that'll be, and we talk about it all the time, attacking on the road. And so that's one of the things that we're constantly saying is attack on the road, and we get the opportunity to do that week 1. And so I'm super excited about that. And week 1 is all about our culture versus their culture. Week 1 is one of those weeks where it's just you don't really know, I guess, too much about each other, and it's just that week you just show up, and Kaz has been preaching this, and as well as the other coaches, it's our culture versus their culture. It's us or them. So I'm super excited to go up to Palo Alto. I know my parents and a lot of other families will be up there, and so I'm stoked about that trip and that opportunity to start the season off 1-0.
JP, when you talk about the culture, it looked like in spring camp, despite all the new faces that you guys added through the portal, that the chemistry on this team seemed to be there. It looks like a lot of buy-in was happening. What did you kind of see from those guys that arrived here in January, and just kind of how they've bought into the program?
Yeah, they definitely bought in immediately. There's a lot of talent that we brought in. Eric McAllister is a guy who's bought in, and he hopefully plays a huge role for us this year. Really talented dude, especially up front. We can talk about guys we brought in, like you guys talked to, Bless Harris. He's mean, he's nasty. He's got a ton of experience, and he's an older guy. So and him, Carson Bruno, Brockemeyer. To be honest with you, the position group I'm most excited about this season is the offensive line. I feel like we have depth there as well, which is extremely important because injuries happen, and we hope they don't, but it's the game of football, they happen. So I think that's a position group that I'm really excited about. And yeah, we could talk about different guys all day long, just Lamarion James and guys on that side of the ball. Devin Deal and so I cannot wait to see these guys play this fall camp and onto the season. So I've really been just honestly proud and happy to see everybody that's come in buy into the culture and not really go against the grain. Just kind of take a couple weeks to look around and see what's going on, and they've definitely done that. And they're more than family to us, they're brothers now. So I just can't wait to suit up with them.
JP, you've been part of the Big 12 your whole career, so you've been part of a 10-team league, a 14-team league, now a 16-team league with teams from the West Coast and no Texas and Oklahoma. How do you put it in perspective how you've seen the Big 12 change? What do you think about all this?
I think it's pretty exciting. The Big 12's got, like you said, a bunch of new teams, and that makes for good, road trips and stuff like that. Honestly, one of my favorite parts about college football is away games. Like, just getting to experience those different atmospheres around the country is a really cool deal. And so, yeah, I mean, we're obviously welcoming them with open arms, and I feel like we're still that team to beat. We're still the team to beat in the Big 12. We got, obviously the national title run, and we're, in Texas. And being in Texas is extremely important. And now, I mean, if you want to count Baylor, we're the, only really, team in Texas, I feel like. So, I mean, that definitely puts a target on our back. And, I'm just excited to get to play all the new teams like UCF this year out the gate, week 3. That's a game definitely circled on our calendar. First kind of gut check of the season, if you will. So, yeah, a lot of new, really cool environments, hopefully, get to experience.
What do you sense the mode is of this team? I know you came in last year after the national championship run, but what do you sense the difference of this mode of this team from maybe what it learned from last year?
I feel like we're a lot closer, like, as a team, like, just individually, like, the guys spend a little bit more time in the locker room than last year, and we're hanging out, with different people, and I don't know, I just feel like we have just more of a tight-knit group, guys that genuinely care about each other and aren't just trying to come here to, get their money and go to the league, and it's more of a, we need each other to kind of vibe. Nobody on this team is picked to be, first team all Big 12, second team. We don't have any name guys, so I feel like that puts a chip on our shoulder, and just a lot of guys who, like me, it's our senior year, and it's now or never. Kind of, I get a, fight or flight type of vibe from this team, and I think we'll definitely be fighting.
JP, do you get any sense on how the new technology will influence the game that you guys have access to?
As in, like,
The Microsoft pads and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking that element, all that.
oh yeah, the helmet thing will definitely be really interesting. We worked that a lot during the spring, obviously, and it'll be pretty cool to kind of get to experience that, and we're gonna be probably huddling a little bit more because of that, and there's gonna be the defensive coordinator is gonna have his linebacker or whatever talking to him too, so we know that it cuts out at 15 seconds, so probably a lot of times you'll see us wait till the clock gets to 15, something like that, and then we'll call the play. Obviously we're still gonna be going really fast, but we'll make an exception on some important downs, I'm sure. But yeah, being able to watch film on the sideline, that's going to be a huge deal. There's going to be no, wandering around on the sideline anymore. It's, everybody's going to be right here with probably an iPad in their hand, seeing what was going on from the previous drive. So it's definitely going to be really interesting. I know a lot of guys in high school got to do that, but in Texas, we couldn't, have iPads and stuff on the sideline, which is, it's going to be something new to probably most of us being from Texas. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's going to be really cool.
You alluded to it a little bit earlier when you were talking about Hoover, but just tell me a little bit about who the leaders are on this offense and how they've stepped up this year.
Yeah, Hoover, obviously great leader, very vocal and very passionate. I'll say myself, I definitely feel like I've stepped up more than ever this year, just being vocal and just leading by example like I always have. DJ Rogers, he's a guy who's been at TCU for a really long time, and he's definitely pretty vocal. Trent Battle, another guy who's a veteran, makes a ton of plays on special teams, doesn't really get too much recognition on the offensive side of the ball, but he definitely plays a huge role in our team, and he's a guy who's extremely vocal and also passionate. Trey Sanders, a guy who talks a lot. I mean, we got a ton, man. It's not like there's just one guy who's just taking control. We kind of kind of refer to it as like, you know how geese, they get in that triangle formation up top, and it's not the same bird at the very front of the point. It's different. They rotate, and so that's kind of how we see it. That's I think a big difference between last year. Guys are much more vocal, and you can see that throughout the entire team.
JP, I'm not sure if you're on social media or anything, but there's been a lot of talk about you being a human cheat code on NCAA 25. Have you gotten a chance to play as yourself? Has anyone told you that personally on the team?
Yeah, that's funny. So I'm not a huge video game guy, like, so I really haven't even played the game yet. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I've gotten like tons of videos like sent to me talking about how I'm a cheat code or whatever. Like they'll show like I won a Heisman in like some guy's league or something like that. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty funny deal, but you know, I guess I got 91 speed, so I mean, that's pretty accurate, I guess. But if you're asking me, I guess. But no, I definitely think it's a super cool thing. Just being in a video game, like, you know, that's pretty sick. You know, ever since you're a kid, you're like, oh, like I want to be in a game one day, and now we are. So yeah, it's definitely a cool thing.